Today we're going to speak about tools. It's really important to understand your knitting tools so that they can be most effective for you. This is probably your most standard knitting needle that people have seen for centuries, and they are aluminum. They're also, as you can see, long in length, and then they also make them where they are a little bit shorter. So this is your traditional knitting needle. I do not really prefer using these because I find them very uncomfortable. I also am not very fond of the metal. I prefer using natural needles. So I want to explain to you some of the advantages that you could have in purchasing your tools so that you would get more out of them. I want to talk about a circular needle. A circular needle has a lot of versatility. When you have a straight needle like this, you only have the option of working back and forth. But when you have a circular needle like this, you have the option of also working back and forth. Or you can knit in a full circle, which allows you to have a seamless garment. And if you look at this little hat here that I have, you can see that this is made all in one piece. And there are no seams, so you have nothing to sew together when you're done. It's a nice clean item, and just makes it a wonderful project to work. It also allows you to get the look of stockinette, which you would normally on this particular needle have to knit a row, purl a row. And when you work a circular object such as this, seamless on a round needle, circular needle, then you get the stockinette pattern by just knitting. So it's just wonderful. It's easier on your hands and so forth. I'm also very fond of double pointed needles because a double pointed needle you use a lot in knitting. If you were going to make this hat and you wanted to finish the crown of the hat as I have done here, you would only get so far on this 16-inch circular needle, and you would have to switch off in order to get your decreasing. So having these, you have the versatility of either making the complete hat in the double pointed needles, or you can begin the hat on the 16-inch circular and then switch over at the base of the decreasing here. And you can also take these, and if you take your point holders, which most people will use to secure their knitting, now you have made a shorter needle where you don't have to worry about your knitting falling off. And you can also work these back and forth in the traditional way of what people used to use the longer needles. And I like these because you're not elbowing anyone, especially if you're traveling, you're sitting on an airplane, or you're by other people. You can be in a doctor's office. You don't have to worry about killing the person next to you because of the long knitting needle. And if you were going to work a small project, such as a baby booty, it makes more sense, to me anyway, to have these wonderful bamboo, earth-friendly feeling in your hand to make a smaller project such as this than trying to do that project on a long needle, as you see here, okay? And then you have the option, if you wanted to make something else, like the leg warmers that I have here. Okay, you would also want to work them circular, but when you have a smaller project like this, once again, you can't do it on the 16-inch needle because it has too much length. So if you try to make these, of course you would have a very, very wide leg warmer. But if you have the double pointed needles, now where you were able to use them knitting back and forth, you can put these and you can formulate a circular needle. In the industry, in the past, double pointed needles were usually only 4 in the package, and I really prefer the Clover brand, not only because they're natural, but you get 5 needles. So when you're set up to do knitting in the round and you're going to have a seamless garment, it's much easier to have 4 and 1 to work with because everything flows much better. If you only have 4 needles, then what you do is you wind up forming a triangle, and then you're using the 4th needle from knitting from one needle to the next, and that's a little bit more strenuous on the hand.